Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening. Okay, my name is Nur Marina Abdul Manap. I'm from School of Economics, Finance and Banking, Universiti Utara, Malaysia. Okay, today my topic is I want to present my topics titled The Linkages Between Agriculture Input, Climate Change and Food Production in Least Developing Countries. Okay. All right. Okay, for the introduction. Okay. Food insecurity is a situation in which people do not have adequate physical, social, or economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preference for an active and healthy life. Okay, this definition is according to FAO 2010. Okay, this situation can cause undernourishment when calorie intake is below the minimum dietary energy requirements. Generally, there are two types of food security. First type is known as chronic food insecurity, which is a long-term or persistent situation that occurs when people are incapable of meeting their minimum food requirements at all times. And the second type is transitory food insecurity. And these types is actually in a short term, temporary situation. The availability of food is reduced because of short term shocks and fluctuation in domestic food production, food price, and also household income. Okay, next is food security and food production. Okay, insufficient in food production has been classified as a transitory food security problem. Okay, food production is insufficient due to population increase. Okay, they are actually insufficient food production is due to population increase. Okay, for food production is actually we have four important input resources for food production and known as land, irrigation, labor, capital. Land and irrigation is one input. The second one is labor, capital, and also fertilizer. Okay, the first input resource for food production is known as a land irrigation area. Okay, land irrigation area is playing a very important role in increasing food production and to sustain food security throughout the world. Okay, this one statement is according to the Mukherjee and Fakan 2009. Okay, labor next input is fertilizer, which is fertilizer also have an impact on food production. Fertilizer is actually a combination of nutrients that are very important in the production of crops and agriculture production. Okay, food production depend significantly on specific climatic conditions. Okay, changes in the frequency and severity of temperature present a major challenge to farmers. And extreme weather is a weather condition is actually can cause a reduction in food production. Okay, and the last inputs is known as labor and capital. And as we know, according to neoclassical theory, labor and capital is very important role in production. Okay, this one is the figures. Okay, the figures that shows the plots of food production index, fertilizer by nutrients, temperature, land irrigation, capital formation, and employment in agriculture sector from 2010 until 2016. Okay, according to this figure, okay, this figure illustrate that the trend of fertilizer consumption in nutrient use for agriculture use, where fertilizer consumption is actually increased. Okay, from 2010 until 2016. Okay, these fertilizer products is actually include nitrogen, potash, and phosphate fertilizer. Okay, however, traditional nutrients such as animal and plant manures are not included. Okay, we can see uh, the uptrend, upward trend for fertilizer. Okay, for labor, okay, the labor according to this figure, okay, labor input shows a decreasing trend from 2010 until 2016, where employment in agriculture has been declining on average at nearly 1% per year, okay, as a share of total employment. So the proportional rate of decline has generally been fastest in least developed countries, where the level of agriculture employment is high. Okay, and least developed countries actually recorded a remarkable growth in food production index. Okay, for 2010 until 2016, and this growth is actually parallel with the growth of capital formation. This one. Okay, in agriculture sector where this input has increased drastically. This one increased drastically from 2010 until this one is 2016. Okay, apart from these aforementioned four important inputs, climate change also is actually plays an important role in determining the sufficiency of food production. Okay, food production depends significantly on specific climatic conditions. Okay, this figure, okay, it shows the plots of prevalence undernourished in least developing countries. Okay, according to these plots, okay, we can see that the percentage of undernourishment in least developing countries. We can see. Okay, we can see that the percentage prevalence of undernourished is decreased trend from 2010 until 2012, but increase in 2013. Okay, and has spiked in 2015 and also spiked in 2018. Which is increased almost 23%. Okay, this shows that the food security problem is still a critical issue and need to be overcome to achieve food security. So the objective of this paper is actually to examine the linkages between all these four inputs, including climate change on food production in least developing countries. So I will skip this literature review. Okay. This paper, we employ fixed effects model because this model is suitable to consider and observe individual characteristics, okay, that are assumed to be correlated in the error term. Okay, we choose fixed effects model based on Houseman test. Okay, when we write Houseman test, we see that Houseman test, the result is very significant. So according to the result, we can say that the best choice for the study was a fixed effects model. Okay, this one is for a model specification and data description. Okay, according to these models and data description, okay, we can see that there are 5 variables were considered throughout the analysis, where food production index are used as a dependent variables. YT is actually for food production index. Okay, are used as a dependent variables, and the explanatory variables include first is fertilizer consumption, which is in nutrient, degree Celsius. Okay, land equipped for irrigation in 1,000 hectare, gross capital formation, and also employment in agriculture sector. Okay, this is my model specification. YT is food production index. Okay, and the result, okay, we can see that the result, okay, fertilizer, okay, land area equipped for irrigations, and also capital formation is positively significant if an impact to the food production. Okay, and from these four significance variable, we can see that land area equipped for irrigation is very important. Okay, to increase food production. Okay, compared to the three others. Sorry, to the two others variables like fertilizers and also capital formation in agriculture. Okay, for this, oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. For this one is conclusion. Okay, conclusion. Fertilizer, land irrigation, and capital formation in agriculture sector are positively significant to increase food production. Okay, as we know, food is very important for social development with sufficient nutrients to produce energy and to protect human bodies to the infection and disease. So food security has been recognized as one of the most important global issues. So from the analysis, we can say that fertilizer, land irrigation, and capital formation in agriculture sector are positively significant to increase food production in least developing countries. However, temperature and employment in agriculture sector is actually are not significant given impact on food production in these least developed countries. Okay, and for the policy implication, okay, as we know from the result, we can see that land irrigation provides a very huge impact on food production in least developing countries. So for the policy implication, in my suggestions, so government need to increase the national budgetary allocation for irrigation infrastructure development. And also, government also need to develop a legal framework to ensure the land right for the farmers. And next, for crop diversification, okay, we need to crop will diversify, will enhance farmer income and viability levels and promote cost recovery from users. And finally, the capacity building program should be developed to strengthen, support, and encourage farmers' participation in irrigation development. So this is all my presentation for my papers. So thank you and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.